Hello everyone, welcome back to another anime review. We are reviewing an anime called Samurai Pizza Cats. Okay, so Samurai Pizza Cats, one of my final thoughts on this anime, because I have a lot to say about this anime. First off, let's start with the three main characters. You got Polly, she's the main girl. Usually when it comes to a fighting team, there's always a girl and two guys, which is pretty much it. She has a crush on the main character, which is Speedy. It wears red or pink of a mech suit. I don't know which one, and she attacks with her claws. And does. She also fights with her claws. Apparently, she also has a sword at some point, but I don't know how she gets that. But her main signature weapon is her claws and a flute. She plays with a flute. They actually have an episode of her playing the flute. The main character Speedy has a white mech suit and he has a sword. Traditional, that's what happens when it comes to these anime. Like I understand that most anime mech animes, the main character gets a white mech suit or a blue mech suit. There's rare occasions where that's not the case, but that's what happens. So yeah. Um, as for Guido, he has a blue mech suit, and he uses his signature weapon is a parasol or an umbrella, one of those old school Japanese umbrellas, where it's like hard on the top. It's you see in Samurai Shampoo with it's those umbrellas from that anime. So that's the main three characters. There's a Big Cheese. Big Cheese is the main villain. He kind of notes it and stuff like that. So that's the main gist of it. So the main things about this anime. There's a dub and a sub. Okay, the sub has 54. The dub has 52. I've watched a little bit of the sub, and I have to say that the sub is really interesting to the dub. The sub is like, how do I put this? The sub feels like it's different vibes. It feels like it's more serious than the dub, because the dub they make a lot of references to movies, to Disney for some reason. I don't know why they have. They say Tweety Bird, Bugs Bunny, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles get the references as well in this anime. So, it's a parody. I just didn't understand how the hell that got greenlit, especially when this anime was not made by Disney. Like, that's the whole problem I have with it. How the hell did they get away with making Disney references if Disney did not sue them? So I might have to do some little more research of this anime of the English dub, but the Japanese version I feel like has a different vibe to it. Um, and the fact it has two more episodes because the Japanese version has 54, English dub has 52. However, the two episodes that the English dub is missing, it's not really missing much because it's just a flashback episode. However, the two episodes the English dub is missing, it's episode 10, episode 51, and I'm like, why they're spread apart. Also, the fact that the problem I have with this anime, there's like a couple parts that I have a problem with, mainly due to the fact that there's like 4 or 5 episodes of a flashback episode. Like I don't understand that concept. I know it's 52 episodes, but Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood didn't do that. Even Naruto didn't do that. I mean, they had flashbacks in the episode of Naruto, but they don't really substantial of what the episode is about, and that's what my main problem. Oh, except for that one episode, episode 200, I believe. But that's beside the point. Um, so, if you want us to sub the Japanese version, it's more serious. It's a lot more different than the English dub, where they make a lot of references to Disney, Clint Eastwood, Rocky Balboa, like all those types of movies. It's you can tell that the English dub. The other thing about the English dub is the fact that every single episode is written by a different person. That's what I don't understand about that version. The other thing is the fact that the animation. So the animation, there are things that I like to say about the animation. I'm not gonna knock the animation, because the anime was made in '91. The English dub was made in '96. So it's in the early to mid '90s of when this anime was made. However, there are two scenes that caught my eye. First off, um, Polly. One of the episodes later on, and I'll explain the structure of of first and second half of the anime series. But in the second half of the anime series, Polly drinks a drink that makes her run throughout the whole entire series. When she drinks it, she starts running and she can't stop. Pretty much plain explanatory. However, when she stops, when they show them getting into the cannon, which a cannon looks like a gun, by the way. The fourth character that is the manager of the pizza joint, which I'll explain that later on in the review. Um, she she shoots them out. She shoots Polly out, but Polly's still running. And the next scene is Polly running into a pyramid from the Egypt. And I'm like, why does it show her getting shot out of the cannon if she's still running? That's bad animation, and that's bad explanation explaining of what is going on. The other thing is just the fact that one of the later episodes, Speedy gets hit with something. He takes off the thing. He moves the thing. He starts talking, and then all of a sudden he removes it again. That's bad animation, to my opinion. But then again, I'm not gonna knock it off. It was just two minor things. I thought it was perfectly fine. It might not be a issue in the Japanese version, but I'm just letting you know. So there. The other thing is the fact that the B team kind of gets shafted because there are technically more cats. You got your three cats plus the fourth cat that is technically the person that works at the pizza joint. The pizza joint. I'm gonna say pizza joint, pizza restaurant. But there's also four other cats that work at other pizza restaurants, and they have one guy has cannons for on his shoulders. The other character can fly. One can shoot water, and the other one can dig underground. They're called in when the main cats can need a little bit of help, pretty much. However, once the B team, we are gonna call them the B team, once they get their own episode of trying to be the main characters, because the 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 three samurai pizza cats that Polly, El Greedo, and Speedy, they get transferred to the B teams, their restaurants, and they get the star of the show. They mess up, of course, because they don't know how to fight the main characters, main baddies, which is Cheese, Bad Bird, and stuff like that. Excuse me, sorry. But the main thing about the problem with that is the fact that after that episode, they feel like they don't show up anymore. Like they show up every once in a blue moon, and I think that's a main problem with the B team is the fact that they do show up at the very end to fight the last fight, which is perfectly fine. I have no problem with it. But the main problem with that is the fact that even though that they're fighting in the final fight, they don't show up that often in the second half of the anime. And that's where I get different vibes from the first half of the anime to the second half of the anime. I'm transitioning on explaining these two things. So from episode 1 to episode 30, they showed them working at the pizza restaurant, which I think is a really good idea. Even though they're fighting crime and fighting these big robots, because that's what Big Cheese likes to do is make big robots. They show the anime shows them working at the pizza joint, which I completely love because you know that they're still working, and it's always busy there because who doesn't like pizza? And they also don't make other they don't pizza, they make a bunch of other stuff, so it's busy, and they're always trying to make pizza, which I think is a good thing. However, in the second half of the anime, they don't show them working at the pizza joint, the pizza restaurant, maybe just for two times. And that's the very last episode. I'm not concluding episode 53 because episode 50 I'm not because even though the episode 53 I think is the last episode, they showed them working at the pizza restaurant, and I think one episode and like between episode in the episode 40s I believe, they show them working at the other pizza joint, which working at pizza joint, but mainly the second half of the anime is them just going out fighting crime and stuff like that. There's a lot of explosions, so yeah. So That's the main problem. The last episode feels like more along the lines of the whole entire series, and that's perfectly fine. I have no problem with it. But that's what my main thoughts on the anime is. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I like. There's a lot of stuff I like too. The humor's there. It has great comedy, even when it comes to the English or Japanese. It's ridiculous, but it's parody anime, so what do you expect? Now, why am I not reviewing Handmaid Mate? Well, the thing is the fact that this anime caught my eye because there's a YouTuber that I was scrolling down the YouTube shorts that I do occasionally, and this VTuber, I don't know how to pronounce her name. I did subscribe to her though. She's told in the short that the first anime that she watched was Samurai Pizza Cats, and I'm like, oh, okay, let me watch that. So I watched it, and now I'm reviewing it. So I give her a lot of credit of giving my vocabulary because it's really hard for me to watch a '90s anime from now on because some of the dialogue in the English dub version it feels outdated to some extent. So yeah, but I might give this anime an 8 out of 10. I still loved the anime to be honest with you, and it was just like oh my god, it felt like I was watching like a TV series movies. But what are you guys' thoughts on the Samurai Pizza Cats? I'd like to say this though, the Japanese theme song is way better than the Samurai Pizza Cats of the English dub. However, even though the Japanese version of the theme song of Samurai Pizza Cats is better than the English dub. The English dub is too fucking catchy. That's my main problem. So, what are you guys' thoughts on this anime? Would you let them watch it? I don't know. I would definitely personally watch it because I think this anime is really good, and the fact that it fits the theme of watching a '90s an old anime. Because lately I've been watching these newer animes and they feel like samey. This anime feels fresh and new, even though it came out in '91. On top of that, it's been 30 years since the anime came out, and I just realized that there was a trailer of the Samurai Pizza Cats getting a video game, and the trailer came out last month. So apparently, there's still a fan base that still wants more Pizza Cats. I would love to play the game, actually, to be honest with you. It's supposed to be on all platforms. It's supposed to be a side scrolling beat 'em up, and I would love to play it to see what you guys' reaction to it. So if you guys want me to play it, I will try to do my best to buy the game and play it for you guys. But yeah, I'm giving this anime an 8 out of 10. Even though it has a lot of problems and stuff, I still think that the anime should be watched. If you want to watch the Japanese version, it's more serious, even though it's still parody. The English dub is perfectly fine, but there's more comedy. It doesn't take it less seriously. And some of the dialogue of the English dub makes no goddamn sense, too. So that's the other issue. Even though it has a lot of problems, I still love it. I hope you guys have a nice, positive day and always stay positive. Quite enjoy. The only thing I have to say is of my personal view is the fact that I felt like it got boring from time to time, but it drags me back in every time. So I'll leave it on that note. So the next anime review will be Handmade May. I guarantee you that. So just want to let you know. Hope you guys have a nice positive day and always stay positive.